Hey guys, my name is Naguura, and today I'm going to give you a guide for the Mage Tower Challenge for Moonkins. Whenever the Legion Timewalking event is live, you can check it in your in-game calendar. You can go to the Broken Shore, which is located on the Broken Isles, and talk to an NPC at Deliverance Point to enter the challenge. Once you get ported in, you can still change your talents and eat consumables, but if you move a few steps forward, the event will start, so keep that in mind. I recommend running Nature's Balance for the extra astral power generation, but you can also run Warrior Valoon or Force of Nature if you have trouble killing the hands, which I will explain later on. Wild Charge or Tiger Dash for the extra movement speed. Rest Affinity for Vortex or Feral Affinity for the extra passive movement speed for an easier time kiting. Mass Root to help keep the Eds away in certain situations. Incarnation for more boss damage, Stellar Drift to be able to cast while moving and extra damage for the Eds, Fury of Valoon to help with the Hands from Beyond and the small Eds. Apparently BFA consumables scale better than Shadowlands consumables, but I personally just use the Shadowlands Mastery Food, Intellect Potion, Intellect Flask, Augment Rune and the Weapon Oil. The challenge tells you to defeat Raest and Karam, but the challenge is completed if you kill Raest. It starts off with Karam being active, while Raest is channeling a ritual and is immune to damage. Right after Karam says, "I obey," you will enter combat and the challenge starts. Karam is a melee and will chase you whenever he's active. If he ever manages to reach you, he will knock you back and do a huge amount of damage, so make sure he never reaches you. Keep in mind that this boss is CCable, so you can root him, Typhoon, Vortex, Cyclone, and so on. Karam drops purple void stones underneath him once in a while, which slow your movement speed if you stand in them. So kiting him on the outer edges of the room will preserve more space for later. You have to DPS Karam to 33% health, which makes him inactive and makes it possible to damage Raest for 40 seconds. Don't use any cooldowns for Karam. The only time restriction at this stage is Karam's debuff, increasing his damage and movement speed, stacking up over time. But it stacks very slowly and it shouldn't become a problem for you. Make sure you're in range of Raest whenever you push Karam to 33%, and pull as much astral power as you can to be able to DPS Raest immediately. Once Raest is active, pop your cooldowns but hold onto drums and potion. He will open 3 rifts around him in succession that spawn little voidlings. Try to kite the voidlings in a circle around Raest to be able to spread Sunfire and hit them with Starfire and Fury of Valoon splash damage, so you can passively kill them while focusing on Raest. Vortex and Typhoon will help a lot here. Keep Starfall up and try to do as much damage to Raest as possible during your incarnation window. The more damage you do to Raest here, the easier the last phase will be. I got Raest to 65% here, but it's also possible to get him a bit lower. I think anything between 60 and 70% is fine here. The Voidlings don't do a big amount of damage if they reach you, but you should still avoid getting hit as much as possible. The Shadow Bolt cast can be interrupted, but it does very little damage and you should save your Solar Beam because you need it later on. After 40 seconds, Raest will cast his ritual again and become immune to damage, while Karam becomes active and starts chasing you again. Make sure you're not too close to Karam at this point. Try to finish off the Voidlings now if there are any left. This stage is the same stage as the first one, with one additional mechanic, the Hand from Beyond. It's a hand spawning close to Raest, continuously casting Grasp from Beyond, which is a 15-second cast and is interruptible. If the cast goes through, you will take a lot of damage. You might be able to survive it in bear form with Barkskin up, but you should not let the cast go through. I recommend interrupting the first cast of the first hand with Solar Beam, then you have a lot of time to kill it before the second cast. If you interrupt the cast immediately, your Solar Beam might be up again for the third hand spawn's first cast. For some of the hands, your Solar Beam will not be up, so you need to make sure you have a lot of astral power for it and possibly also Fury of Valoon to kill it before the first cast goes through. I managed to not get any hand spawns for a long time here, which seems to be happening if you use Cyclone on Karam, but I'm not sure on that part. I tried to delay the 33% push for a little while here while entangling roots and cycloning Karam to make sure my cooldowns come back up for the final stage, and not getting additional hands was a bonus. As soon as Karam reaches 33% health, he will go inactive again and Rest will be damageable for 40 seconds. This is the same stage as before, with one additional mechanic, Rune of Summoning. Rest will cast a purple rune close to him that gets smaller over a few seconds, and at the very end it will spawn a huge AT unless you stand in a rune. This AT will most definitely kill you, so make sure you move into the rune as soon as possible and use Vortex, Typhoon, and Mass Root to keep the ATs away from you. After 40 seconds, Karam will start chasing you again, so both Rest and Karam will be active simultaneously. You will also have to deal with Hands from Beyond and Runes of Summoning during this final stage. This is the most difficult stage, and you should make sure to use all of your cooldowns here, including Drums and Potion. You have to burn down Rest as fast as you can because you will be overwhelmed with the amount of mechanics happening at this point eventually. Remember, the challenge is over as soon as you kill Rest, so you don't have to damage Karam at this stage at all. You should kite him, use Cyclone, and root him while only DPSing Rest and the Hands from Beyond. I made sure to CC Karam before using my cooldowns here. I also used Solar Beam on the hand and passively killed it with Starfall and Dots while using Vortex and Typhoon to keep the Voidlings away and just DPS Rest. I hope this helped you complete the Mage Tower challenge. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you liked the video, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one, bye!
Let it now. Now. Let it now.
I'm defeated? That's impossible.